We're live.
Are we?
What was the thing in the corner says live?
Oh, mine says off air.
Mine says live, so maybe it's just me and I'm talking to myself currently on air.
I hope not.
Okay, well, let's see how this goes, shall we?
Okay. Alright. So, hello everyone, and welcome to the... Oh, it's live. It's definitely live now. Hello everyone, welcome to this pre-summer edition of the BJ Show, where we'll just be going over events in summer, answering your questions that you've submitted, or feel free to submit some more questions in the little bar.
Our swanky new website.
Yes. So, as you may have noticed, we're not two people sitting in a room talking shit. We're now two people sitting in different rooms talking shit with a sponsor. So, that's going well. Blue Hawk are our sponsor now. We've sold our souls for less. We're very sorry. First question, Ben. Hit us up.
Okay, the first question is... What summer tournament sounds like it's going to be the most awesome? Summer Cup, Barcelona, Ghent, Germany, European Games, or Apulia? That's from Alice Walker.
Well, I think it depends what you're going to the tournament for. Like, if you're going for the best...
There's a lot of different styles in there.
Quidditch.
European Games has to be the standout one for talent and competitive nature. But, like, Summer Cup seems like it's going to be similar to Mercian kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Like, just super relaxed and just some nice fun Quidditch.
Yeah. Well,
And
it's
then the
a
other teams
social...
can
Yeah, it's a social with Quidditch games rather than a tournament.
Yeah. Because are you going to any of those?
No.
None of them.
None of them. None of them.
Okay, well I'm going to Summer Cup. I'm going to Ghent. I'm going to Apulia and possibly European Games.
But there's the other tournaments like the Brizzlepuffs All Stars tournament happening towards the back end of summer.
Yeah, and then there's Quidditch Camp as well.
Yeah, which I think if you're just looking for a good time with some Quidditch people, those are the sort of things you want to.
Yeah, if you want to go to a tournament and win, maybe they're not for you, but then there's the case for everyone this summer. Yeah. So I think the answer to your question is they're all going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's Quidditch. It's always going to be good.
Okay. Who will win Summer Cup and why?
This now hits me where I can't remember the team name which I prepared the answer for, Ben. So Ben, why don't you say some things and I'll try and remember.
Well, I'm on the Bone Breakers team, which is Hannah Watts' team. I think we have a fairly good chance of finishing fairly high. I think it's between the Bone Breakers, Sam Senior's team, Napoleon Dynamites, and then Seb's team, Midsummer Night's team, who have the fearsome combination of Robbie Gorn and Tom Haynes.
Midsummer Night's team was the one that I had my eye on for who I thought would win it. Just I think for the attacking power that it has going forward.
Their chaser line is scary, shall we say?
Yeah. But
there's been a few dropouts, but especially with like captains, there's been captain dropouts, Aim dropping out. With Ollie Hyman now captaining that team. Fraser falling under the curse of Tom Norton, wearing a 13 keel shirt and breaking his little finger.
Pathetic.
So personally, who do I think will win Summer Cup? Well, I'm obliged to say my own team because of confidence, but I think it's going to be between. I think it's Seb's to lose. I think.
Yeah,
I think Seb has a stronger chance.
Yeah, I think the one thing we've seen, like with Mercian especially, is the teams that people say are going to dominate the tournament, or the teams which are going to dominate the tournament, don't always do as well. Because I was really surprised at Mercian. The teams that I thought were just going to walk through everyone had some really bad losses, and the teams that I thought maybe weren't going to do as well went a lot further than I expected. But
So the only prediction really for Mercian, and that was bang on, was Haynes' team coming first. Apart from that, like, I don't think
Yeah.
anyone really got it. Hang on.
Yeah.
Okay, next
Well,
question.
next question.
If you had to take, which Quidditch players would you take for a cheeky Nando's and why?
It would.
It's an important question, mate.
Well,
Take it seriously.
I can't stand Nando's personally. Like
Oh, well, this is interesting that the cheeky BJ show, neither of us are massive fans of Nando's.
I just I really I think it's overpriced. Like, trust me, you ask any Bangor player, I will rant about this if ever chicken is mentioned. I just hate Nando's so much because it's so much money for so little, and it's not even that great. But
I'm just not a huge fan of chicken, but okay, let's for all intents and purposes, let's replace that with a cheeky meal, if that's a thing. I don't want
I think Tom Ower would have to be in there just for you never
For-
do. You
to
never
top
know what he's
hashtag
going to do.
cancers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
but
know, you
is that what
take
you want?
you take him to a restaurant. He's unpredictable. You don't know what's
I'd be
going to
scared.
happen. Like,
I'd be
is
scared if
he
he was unpredictable.
is he going to down the hot sauce just to prove he's such a lad? Probably, but that's totally makes it worth going out with. Most of Bristol probably are a solid, like,
I think
that's
Bristol seem to embody the
the
term
cheeky
cheeky
Nando's.
Nando's. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think that's the other best way to answer that question.
yeah, the whole of Bristol.
The whole of Bristol are cheeky Nando's, and I feel like enough that they probably all have the thing to give you a free chicken. So we'll just
You
food
know
for
they
them.
have. You know Bristol Quidditch team have a black card for Nando's just because.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, they've
a
spent
team
so
black
much.
card.
Yeah, yeah, you know that's happening.
Oh yeah. Okay, this one's from Fraser, presuming Podsford. Love seeing the pictures of the honey badgers in their yellow kit and Mercian. Seeing as teams are allowed to play in black, the same colour as referees, do you think there should be more yellow kits in Quidditch? And if so, how will this affect the snitch runner?
Well,
So, yellow kits, yes or no? I know obviously you have experience with yellow kits.
the baggy yellow kit was a bold statement running down the pitch.
That's certainly something to
It's
sum
something.
up that kit is bold statement.
Yeah, but personally, I'm all for yellow kits. Um,
I was very hesitant about the whole yellow kit thing. More so the lack of yellow on the snitch runner then. But they must have dealt with that with some actually really nice kind of orange and purple
it was
tie-dye,
the tie dye. Well, I
which were
think
quite nice actually.
it's kind of a split opinion because some people want the snitch to stay yellow and teams not be able to be yellow to kind of carry on with the Harry Potter theme and it be the golden snitch and be gold. But personally, I think as long as the snitch is a different colour to the teams that are playing, it doesn't really affect me. Like, I couldn't care less what colour the snitch is as long as it's obvious that they're the snitch. And I realise yellow is the go-to, but there's, like Fraser said, if you can play in black like a referee, it's just the same. So I'm all for the yellow kit. That Honey Badgers kit was quality.
I do appreciate the Honey Badger's kit, how nice it was on the front, and then on the back it was just like Sharpie.
It was the electrical tape numbers. That's what you want. But yeah, I'm all for the
That's a
yellow
sign of
kit.
a good kit.
What about
So
yourself?
that's a yes from the BJ show.
Are you all for the yellow?
I think I'm with you. Like, not against it, but I'll be interested to see it more often.
Yeah. Well, and also, I think it's not like we see snitches not playing yellow plenty of times. Like in America, there are plenty of snitches that don't play in yellow, and we've seen it. Like, so I don't really think it matters.
Yeah. Okay, next question. What is your favourite kit design that you've ever seen?
Oh wow.
That's from Phil B. So I'm going to presume Phil Brown, but I could be wrong.
There's a few options. Banger's original pillowcase kit. That was.
I've heard it's like Dobby style.
It is. That's something.
Um,
I'm a big
obviously,
fan.
I'm slightly biased, but I quite like the new London kit.
Yeah.
Our new design.
The new London kit is very nice.
So I've said this in the past, but I'm a fan of simplicity in a kit.
Yeah.
I was quite a big fan of the Quidditch Island kit, which has come out recently. Big fan of that. Same with like Southampton's, nice and sleek and not too much going on. And then you have the other end of the spectrum, Exeter's new kit, for example.
That is striking. Like
yeah. It's going for a certain style, and I think it's achieved that certain style.
It is. I'm a big fan of the Chimera kit personally. I think it gets the good blend of Quidditch kit and sports kit. Like I think it's a serious looking kit, and I like my Quidditch kits to find that balance between a Quidditch kit and a serious looking sports kit.
Oh yeah.
I don't like them when they're too busy or just too Harry Potter. Things like that. But then you have the things like the Leeds Griffins kit is quite clever with the Griffin. You've got the tail and the shorts. Like that's a really cool idea. And that
it kind of works well. But again, there's not too much going on, so it's not too
well, that's the thing. It's finding the balance between having a gimmick on your kit and keeping it simple.
I quite like St Andrew's kit as well for the simplicity reason as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. That's a really nice kit.
It's one that's often forgotten, I think, because it's I suppose because of the colours as well. It's not bright and flat. Then you've got Cambridge's kit. Cambridge with their blue and fluorescent orange in my kit.
I wouldn't say it's my preferred kit, but you're not going to miss them, and I think maybe that's what they've gone for.
Speaking of kits and the BJ show, on the last, I think, was it the last one? REQC one? Was it the last BJ show?
I think so.
Yeah, I mentioned that I like the Lutheran Leprechauns kit, and a guy called Rick brought one to EQC to trade with me.
Wow.
So I have that in my house somewhere. I think it might be in the wash currently.
Oh, excellent. It shows people actually watch the show, and that's what you want.
And listen as well, not just watch it.
Yeah.
They don't just like blankly stare at it with the sound off.
Yeah. Quality. Next question.
Probably should have been looking it up before. Is it true that Jay Holmes once started a fight with a 6-year-old in an Asda car park?
How did I know this one was going to come up?
This is from Concerned in Bangor.
Yeah. So, what happened was, it was about...
answer the question.
It was about 11 o'clock at night. And we were walking to Asda car park. I think we were having a house party or something. And I was in quite a bad mood, as I usually am, just in my general life. And,
general demeanour, yeah.
Yeah, this child just started gesturing at me from their car and calling me a loser. And it just kind of tipped me over the edge. And I just started shouting at the car and shouting at the 6-year-old and walking over to the car before it occurred to me that I was shouting at a 6-year-old who probably didn't know better and was like, I don't know what I'd have done if I'd like opened the door, just be like, I don't like you, be nicer. Yeah, it wasn't my finest moment, Ben. I'll level with you. It wasn't
Yeah. How are you gonna follow-on question from that? How are you gonna use this experience and channel it into your new role as Bangor captain?
Well, the way I look at it, I've calmed down a lot since then.
So, like, in the past, would you have treated a ref like that, but nowadays, you're...
No, I always said, like, sport and Quidditch is the one time that I usually stay pretty calm. Because you don't have to.
So if a ref shouted that you're a loser at you, how would you react?
That would probably garner some stern response. That probably wouldn't go down too well. Yeah, maybe have a word with them after the game.
Maybe put an official complaint.
Maybe.
You
Or
can't
just
tell.
shout at them a lot after the game. Use some colourful language. What it's all about. Treating other refs well. Should we move on from this?
I'm going to move on from that to a question from Tom Newton, the famous Tom Newton. And it's not about overtime either. So if you each found yourself stranded on a desert island with only one other person from Quack, who would you each want it to be and why?
Jeez. That's a tough one. It's a tough one.
Well, it depends. It depends what you want. Do you want to have a nice quality of life before you die, or do you want to not die?
Well,
I
that's
think.
the thing. Or do I want to eat this person? Like,
But then you'd have to also beat them in a fight before.
yeah, but
I
if
think
they,
neither of us
if you
have much of
choose
a chance
someone,
of.
if they don't know, it's. I don't know. I hear Phil Brown's a scout. I'm sure that'd be pretty useful. I'm sure he could rustle us up a fire.
I was going to say Dougal because you could probably intimidate any animals we find.
Yeah. Kill a bear to eat.
Yeah, you probably just like rip a bear in half or something.
Yeah. I'm sure he'd be nice and warm for a cuddle. You gotta look at the pros and cons of these people.
He's got the hair for the insulation as well.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of who else I'd like to have on a desert island with me. Oh, maybe a Falmouth player, because then we can play some beach Quidditch.
1-on-1.
One-on-one beach Quidditch.
It depends. If I get equipment with me, that changes the question entirely.
You can make the quaffle out of like, I don't know, a ball of hair or something.
A washed up volleyball that from a FedEx box.
Which I believe you own. You own a
I
Wilson
do.
ball, don't you?
I do own a Wilson quaffle with the face on it, and it is fantastic.
I had to throw around with it at Mercy without your permission. And it's good quality.
It is.
So who's your final answer? Because this will be happening, by the way.
Oh, it's a tough one. I could pick Fabian Brunt, or Fake J, as he is more commonly named. And then it would just be like dying and looking into my own eyes, which I imagine could be quite surreal. And I'd have no quarrels about eating him, so... And he's pretty tall, pick shit out of trees. I'm going to say Fabian Brunt, just for use, and then,
Use.
Use, yeah. He's basically my Swiss Army knife.
Okay.
I'm not looking for the company, I'm looking for survivability. Fabian Brunt.
And for that reason, I'm gonna pick Dougal. For the cuddling, the hair, and the raw athletic ability.
Yeah. He could probably just swim, put you on his back and swim away. So you're pretty.
I'm pretty sure he can shake his fingers and start a fire.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Pretty sure that's what it is. Yeah. Speaking of your answer, Fabian Brunt from Bangor, do you think that this new Jay from Bangor will outshine old Jay in the upcoming year with his better playing, boyish charm, and general sexiness?
Not with his boyish charm or general sexiness, but
because everyone knows you have a monopoly on that in Quack.
Yeah, I do. I don't mean to brag. I'd hope so. I'd hope he'll surpass me, because as his captain, you kind of hope your players would become better than you, and also that's a good excuse to use if he does become better than me. But I think for the time being, as long as I'm still kicking around, I can reign on top, because people don't use his name, and that's the first step, Fabian. Get him out there.
Yeah, the fact that he's still referred to as New Jay, I think he's got
New Jay, Fake Jay. Once he earns his name, then he'll know.
When people start calling you Fake Fabian or Fake
Exactly. To be fair though, there were quite a few photos where we were tagged as each other, which was interesting. I hope he does.
I look
I
forward
hope
to doing the BF show if he ever drops out. If you ever
Yeah,
drop out on
exactly. Oh, that was
season.
another question Banger asked me: is could they see Fabian replacing me on the BJ show?
Oh, I met him. He's a lovely bloke. So yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, mate, he can have a guest appearance.
He could
The
be
BF show.
he could be a reserve.
Yeah, exactly. If I ever get ill or maybe break my neck, which, knowing me is a very likely possibility, Fabian's my replacement.
And I haven't asked my replacement, but my replacement will be Matt Dwyer. So
I,
if
I can,
I'm ever injured and can't do a show, Matt Dwyer will use his dulcet American tones to speak to you all.
that does
Um,
sounds like a plan.
this question has just come in about
Just
18
coming.
seconds ago.
Right.
Who do you feel like the new captain powerhouses will be? So like the new captains of teams in the UK who I'm presuming it means will make an impact on their team. Because obviously,
That's one.
and also while we're doing this, I'll ask the other question, which was with a lot of teams losing players, like Jacob from London, Lucy from Nottingham, and Bidwell from Southampton, what players can you see stepping up to take their places in the squads? Because obviously they're all captains of their teams, Lucy, Simon, and Jacob. So, who do you think's got the largest mountain to climb from former captain to new captain, or?
I don't know. I think just for who'll be good
Or
captains, I think Charlie
yeah,
Schofield will be a good captain for
Derby, yeah.
Derby. I think he brings the right attitude and the right ability into the role. And
He's got the ability on pitch, but not
yeah,
just he's got the sort of
likability.
personality. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
personality. Right.
Which is one of the most important things about being a captain is if your players don't like you, then they're not going to learn. Whereas I think
And
Charlie,
we're not gonna follow your lead on pitch or
yeah,
off pitch if they don't respect you or even dislike
exactly.
you.
And I think Charlie really does strike that balance.
Yeah,
And I think he'll be
I
very
think
good at getting new players and making sure they develop well.
yeah, but also there's new players, there's new captains obviously at Oxford as well.
Mm.
Abby Whiteley for Chimeras
Yeah,
and Emily Hayes for Quidlings. So I think having two female captains at the same club is brilliant for a start.
definitely.
And Olivia Payne is vice as well for I believe for Chimeras. So
Yeah,
that's three females in four positions for captaincy in Oxford, which is just awesome.
yeah, it's excellent.
I mean you've got Keel as well, Chris Lawrence
Oh yes, of course.
for Tom Norton. I'm trying to think who else you've got yourself for
Oh,
Bang.
yes, yeah. Bangor losing a lot of players this year, sadly.
I believe it's Alex for ALIX. Alex Marie for St Andrews, I think is their new captain.
Well, I think because I think this is quite a big turnover year for Quidditch, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot of people
We're,
leaving, moving
we're a
around.
lot of people are leaving and moving, which I hope will allow players that maybe didn't get the recognition at their team or didn't get the first team minutes at their team. It will give them the
Yeah,
chance to move up into the first team and give them a chance to develop and be recognised as the excellent players they are, but they usually just get dwarfed by the
mm.
rest of their team's ability.
Yeah. I
And
also
I
think
think,
there's going to be a lot of players switching positions this summer
mm,
because we've started to see the rise of utility players. Still not like to the extreme levels. Like there's only a few in the country who have really kind of mastered every position or got to
yeah,
the top of the game in that position. But I see teams now being like, well, I played Chaser for a year and a half. I'll try Beta or vice versa.
yeah.
So
But I think playing as a utility player, even if you've chased, kept, and seeked, sought, and don't have the intention of being a beta in competitive games, playing as a beta gives you the understanding of that position and really improves your understanding of the game, which I think is a huge advantage for some teams because if you can play and understand every position to a relative degree, it's going to make you stronger in the rest of your positions because you know how to think.
yeah. So yeah, who do you think is going to be filling in for some of the or who are the big losses firstly for teams around the country?
Uh, well,
Lucy for Nottingham.
Banger for a lot of people.
Yeah, you were talking about this before. Like you have
Yeah,
a lot of stalwarts, shall we say,
yeah. Well, we've got
of Bangor leaving.
the big names of Bangor. Well, nearly all the big names of Bangor are
You've
leaving.
got some very good freshers coming through, but still, it's going to be tough with
Exactly. Well,
them.
it's a tough ladder to climb, but that's Ollie Craig leaving. Southampton have quite a big turnover this year.
Ollie Craig, of course, moving to Paris Titans, Titans.
Really?
Yes,
Oh,
so that's
damn.
going to be an interesting team next year. Frenchie though, despite graduating, Vince is
Yeah.
despite graduating is staying at Southampton.
Oh, fair enough.
But they're losing Gemma Thripp, I think. Nata Bear. Um,
Yeah, I think
they're
though.
losing quite a few players. Southampton are going to have a big hit. Kiel, on the other hand, though, are losing Alex Greenhalgh, Bex McLaughlin, who's now Hampton Taxes. They're losing Alice Nightingale until EQC, but then she's back. But otherwise, they're not losing anyone. So
Well, I think the rise of more and newer teams means that it gives players a chance to stay in the loop, which is
yeah,
whereas like last year, once you left a team, that was kind of because there weren't that many. If you weren't
you're
here,
you're not likely to be around to where a team is, but now like
yeah,
the amount
they're
popping
all
up,
over the country.
you're more likely to be within travelling distance of a team.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
Like even if it's an hour travel is still better than not playing at all.
oh yeah, for sure. Okay. Let's see what question is next. Did you go on the train at Mercian?
I didn't.
And
No, it
we're
was.
not talking about Tom Haynes. Um,
No, I didn't. I didn't go on the railway. But it
I
looked.
did.
How was it, Ben? Was it everything
It
you
was
hoped for and more?
it was stunning. I did nearly lose my sunglasses on it. Um, but it was actually really nice because as you went by on the train, you were right next to the pitch.
Yeah,
So I saw a goal being scored as we drove by,
that is pretty cool.
and it was actually quite a nice way to watch the game because you got to see all like 360-degree angle of the pitch. It was, yeah. If you're in Derby in that park, I'd recommend it.
Yeah,
£1.60 bargain.
just that area. It was lovely.
Cheaper than a Nando's.
Yes, but so
Um,
most things.
okay, next question. I want Jay Holmes to take his socks off.
Yeah, I think there's something we need to address here. There were a lot of questions aimed at me, and I'm guessing the majority was Bangor, and by that I mean I know the majority was Bangor, but some of you have some very strange tastes. And for the person who asked me to take my socks off, I'm not wearing any, so you can't see. I'm not wearing any socks, so I'm going to have to disappoint you in that respect.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's the feet they want to see, or is the action of taking the sock off.
Yeah, the ping.
Um,
But yeah,
there's
there were a
also
few.
another question from Tickle Me Silly called I want to see Jay Holmes take his top off. My requests always get ignored, so you kind of have to do this one.
I'm sorry, that's a pay-per-view service.
Yeah, if you
That's not part of the free show. If
there's
you message us, we can get some billing information set up. And you
BJ
can
After
pay,
Dark show will be
yeah, you can
streamed on a pay-per-view channel later this evening.
pay for every 5 minutes.
I don't
Message
think
us
it's
your
past the
bank
watershed
details.
now. Yeah, it's still not past the watershed. So
Yeah. Like you message us your details, we can set something up. But for the free show, we're not giving away magic for free. Like
yeah, that's also the answer to this question. Then I want to see Jay Holmes take his trousers off and maybe more winky face.
yeah, that's just
If Jay Holmes isn't naked and oiled up on this show, I'll be severely disappointed.
I can imagine it's starting to get into the this is Bangor sending harassing questions.
I wouldn't put it past other teams doing the same.
Yes, but thank you. It's complimentary that you want to see me in that way. I'm
Okay.
very flattered.
Next question is what? This is from IRDP, the International Referee Development Program.
Damn.
It's from a whole of it. They've agreed on this.
Yeah.
What do you think about the new rule book?
There's some
Firstly,
interesting.
have you read it? Have
I've
you
read
the changes?
most of the big changes.
Okay.
Um,
The ones that stand out to me, which I'm a fan of, is the blue cards,
yes, the blue card change is fantastic.
which as a ref and as a player, I very much appreciate the fact you now can no longer be sent off for a double kick, for
Yeah,
example, which I've done in the past and have felt very bad for, despite it being the rules.
yeah. I think that's the thing. There's some great changes, but then there's changes like the three that stand out for me that will cause the most problems are you're only allowed 7 brooms,
Yes,
gum shields are necessary,
mandatory. Yeah,
and friendly fire. The friendly fire rules have changed to
unless you're specifically shouted as safe,
yeah, unless you're shouted as safe, you're beat. Which
and even once you've dismounted,
yeah,
unless the ref tells you to get back on.
but yeah, that's the thing. The ref can
Yeah,
tell you to remount. Like, there's so many changes to the rules, and then there's new rules which kind of overwrite those rules to make sure. But the broom one, I think, is just a bit unnecessary because they want to stop the seeker going to the other side of the pitch and going on and taking the snitch. And I think just make a way that you can't do that. Just say that can't happen. Or I think Luke suggested like you have to touch hands with the player that you're subbing in for. Like you don't need to limit brooms because it's going to slow the game down and slow subbing down, and it's just not necessary.
oh yeah, no, it's. I think that's something that obviously we still don't know if the UK will, because this is the US Quidditch rulebook.
Yeah,
And obviously with it'd be interesting to see what the IRDP and some
I'd,
other
I'd like
and
us
what.
to kind of take the rule book and say we like these rules, but we're not going to have these rules, or
But
we're
then it's
going
a
to
case of
change
when we
regional.
play when we play the
Yeah,
US.
well, but exactly that's the argument. It's you don't have different rules for football in different countries,
Then you
but
start developing into rugby league and rugby union and
yeah.
like kind
But
of
then
different
I
styles of the same sport.
I think if the whole country, well, not the whole country, if the majority of the community, by a strong sense, is saying
Oh
this
yeah, no,
rule is trash, then we kind of need to recognise that that rule is not wanted.
yeah, that's something that people far more important than us are dealing with.
Exactly, people
Mm.
beyond our intellectual capacity.
Oh
The
yeah,
mouth guard rule, I just think, is a touch unnecessary. Like,
I
I think
think
it,
I think they should be. I think they haven't been strongly advised. They haven't been advised enough in the past. But they shouldn't be
well, I think
mandatory.
it
Even
should
rugby
be.
is not
Yeah,
mandatory.
exactly. There's no sport where you have to. I just think it should be like you really, 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 really should wear a gum shield. But if you don't want to, that's why
It's
we
like
have waivers saying you take your own injuries.
yeah, or maybe just like something to show you what happens if you don't wear it. So I know
Yeah,
players who like have teeth knocked
chip
out or
teeth.
chipped teeth. Yeah, it would just show like it's not that uncommon. So please wear one, I guess.
Did you see that the
Yeah,
company made a Quidditch gum shield, didn't they? Or kind of marketed one of their gum shields as a Quidditch gum shield, which I thought was interesting.
yes, they saw the rule change, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
we've been short now.
Yeah. Short break
Um,
now. Yeah.
so
Here's a word from our sponsor.
I'll sort out. We'll see you. Here's a word for you after these short adverts. Okay, I just had word that we are still live.
Oh, is the word from our sponsor not?
Apparently, it hasn't been happening. Um, so Blue Hawk, if you're listening, which I know you are. Um,
Sort it out.
um, to quote Luke Twist, oh crap, did it not work? Um, so
Well, we've been instructed just to carry on. I believe the promo would have been for the All-Star Cup, which, there you go. Shall we do another question, Ben?
yes, let's do another question until Luke tells us to stop again and hopefully not be as awkward this time.
Yes.
Okay.
Hit us up.
European Games.
Oh dear.
Top 4, no particular order.
I don't think I've personally seen enough of the teams to make a judgment, really. I like to think UK are going to do pretty well. Like, the Team UK we're sending is solid. Like, it is a brilliant,
Hmm.
brilliant Quidditch team. But
Yeah.
then France is France, and it'll be
France,
Paris
France.
Titans. Yeah, well, it'll be Paris Titans plus some of the best in France, which, I
Yeah,
think.
because obviously there's the not controversy, but kind of it's been raised about the three. There's only 3 teams selected in the France national team:
Yeah.
Lyon, Titans, and Frog.
But I don't see why that's controversial. Like in other sports, they don't go you have to pick from all the teams. Like if you've got all your best national players in one team, send that team. You're sending it to win. Like
So do you know anything about the other teams, or because personally I'd put in obviously no particular order, because I think when you get nearer the top it's harder to separate them.
of
I'd put
course.
the UK, France, Belgium, and based on EQC, Germany have a decent shot of getting in the top 4.
Norway are going, aren't they?
Norway also,
Yeah, I was
I
gonna
think,
say,
have
I think
beaten
Norway.
Italy, of course.
Yeah.
Green Calros came over here to the EQC and gave Chimeras a very good run on pitch and took Kiel to snitch catch as well.
But
So,
I think sadly this will be a question that we can only answer kind of once we've had the European Games going for a few years, because I just don't think we know or hear about international teams enough to warrant passing judgment on them.
I think, yeah, because I think a lot of the Belgian team are similar. A lot of it's made up of similar players from last year. The UK obviously has quite a few players from last year, as well. But
Yeah.
Team France there's a lot of different players in there from last time. So I think you're right in that sense. It's going to be hard to judge.
Yeah, it will be incredibly difficult to pull them apart.
Um, I'm looking forward to seeing some of the countries who've just kind of this is their first national outing.
Yeah, well, it's a lot of countries first. It's like
It's
nearly all
Norway's
of.
first. It's Italy's
Yeah,
first. It's
like
um,
well, it's basically if you didn't go to the global games, it's your first.
yeah. So the only
Yeah,
ones there are UK, France, and Belgium.
yeah. So
Um,
that'll be fantastic. I think it'll be fantastic to see the different styles
yeah,
that are developing, and also it'd be great to see maybe pick up some new tricks from the other countries and like see if there's one country that plays particularly slow or particularly fast. Or
yeah. Because from what I've heard from rumblings in Team UK is that they're all connected really well, and all the chemistry on pitch is really good. So
yeah,
that's definitely something that will be interesting seeing, especially if a team like France and the UK meet up earlier than like the final. I
yeah,
could, because I'm not sure how it's going to work. Is it going to be groups? Is it going to be round robin, like global games are going to be seeded. I'm not sure.
I can imagine they might do just groups and see how
Yeah,
it
because
goes.
I know they have at least 8, I believe. So
Yeah,
I just do 2 groups of 5 or however many. Because I'm not even sure who's confirmed to be going. I think Spain have a team, but Catalonia also have a team. Italy, Norway, Belgium, Netherlands, Ireland, obviously.
yeah.
Ireland's going to be a very interesting one, I think.
Well, yeah, it's kind of who did they learn off?
Because they have experienced players in Jodie Mee and Isabella Aston, both from Bristol. And I think they have a few players from Galloway in there who played at BQC one.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
Galway. Yeah, Bangor
Galway, yeah.
played them. Yeah, and they gave a good fight. Like,
Yeah, considering as two, and I know at least 2 of their players, because of the general, had to be on pitch
yeah,
100% of the time.
but
And I remember them being semi-decent, so.
it just depends if they've continued to move as the game has.
Well, I think unless they've been playing matches, it's going to be tough to keep up with the tactical progression of the game.
Exactly.
Um, but and I think if you're in shape, if you've got the athletic prowess, you're not going to be too far behind.
No, well, it's just if you've got the sporting mind to be able to adapt to it, then
Hmm.
it should be. But then by that time, it might be too late.
Oh
So
yeah,
I think
yeah.
it'll be good to see what they bring.
Okay. There are rumours of Snitch and Ref of the Year. If you had to name both, who would you choose? Specifically says Snitch and Head Ref. Um,
Head ref is a tough one
for
because I
me, for me, this season is between Dave Godin and Eamon Harrison. With
Godin.
there's a lot who are very close, like Lucy and Sally, and but there's quite a lot of actually head refs in the country. The fact that there's the debate and it's all is quite close is such a good sign for the sport.
Yeah. Well, I, I, I just think reffing at the moment is so varied. It's really difficult to, because I think like ref of the year depends on how you like the game to be played. Like if you want it to be played to the letter, you
Yeah.
have a very different person ref. You want quite a lenient ref. Because I prefer lenient refs because I think it just lets the game flow.
Hmm.
But I honestly I think Dave for that BQC final definitely definitely had it going on there. Snitch I really couldn't
I think Snitch is more of a
personal
wide
preference.
pool of personal preference as well. Because there's certain snitches who no one can catch, and then one type of seeker could just really easily catch sometimes.
Yeah,
But no one else can, because you have to like just trying to. Your brain goes blank when you kind of get asked these questions. But
yeah.
ones from BQC, I think my top 3 from BQC had to be Connor Simpson, Dennis
Oh yes,
Plog, yeah, Dennis Plog
yes,
and Jordan Niblock from this is from
yeah,
BQC. Obviously, we've had
definitely.
EQC since then. We've had there's ones who've started very recently, like James Marshallak from Durham. He only started at Ship It and Mercian, and he looks like he's been snitching for ages.
Yeah.
So there'll be players who start next year who've never done it before and could.
It will be fantastic.
Mm.
Yeah.
Anyone? This isn't a question from the submissions, but I think this was asked last time. But any players who haven't snitched before, who you would love to see snitch?
Oh, that's a really tough one. I'm trying to think who.
Has Andrew Holl ever snitched?
No, and I can imagine. Yes, he did. Not an official game. Valentine's one. He did the last
Valentine's
game of
one.
the day. He snitched the last game of the day, and I caught him almost instantly. But then that was not an official game, and I don't really think he was trying that difficult. But I think if he put his mind to it, he could be an incredibly difficult snitch to catch.
Hmm. Yeah, is there anyone else who stands out for you?
Um,
Does Ollie Craig
has
snitch?
Robbie Gaughan
I
snitched?
don't. I don't think he snitched in a proper match before.
Yeah,
Um,
like
so someone
those
his
two, I could
arms.
imagine would
Yeah,
be something to come up against.
certainly. Trying to rack my brain now, thinking of.
Yeah, it's who would be good.
I can only think of actual snitches.
I can imagine you throw the majority of Team UK on, they're
Yeah,
probably going to be able to do the ones that haven't done snitching before, they're probably going to be able to do something with it.
yeah.
I would
Um,
like to see James Burnett snitch.
James
Yes.
Burnett. James Burnett snitching would be something I would physically hand over money to someone to see happen.
Like that sounds like it could be something special.
Yeah. Jesus
Make
snitch.
make it happen, James. Make it happen.
If you want to start a petition, we'll happily
Yeah.
back. There can be a page, a donate button on the Blue Hawk, on the Blue Hawk website for
Yeah.
James Burnett to snitch EQC final 2016.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. Mate, European Games.
European
That's what I
Games,
wanted.
every game.
That's what I want. Snitching the final of European Games, James Burnett.
I'm fully backing this plan.
I think it would be something spectacular.
Well, I think if we don't have James Burnett, you have to have someone like. We're going to have more of a Quidditch UK higher ups, like Matt Gunzel snitching.
Matt Gunzel snitching would be.
And you have Mel Piper as well.
Like, I think Matt would just reduce to rapping to his opponent and hoping that it put them off their game.
I think Matt Gunzel wouldn't realise that you can't headbutt someone as a snitch necessarily.
Yeah. Can't
Maybe.
lightly tase
Or
them.
maybe he'd just start having a rap battle.
Yeah.
He'd just get his cheese grater out and
Yep. His flips are greater. You know.
just hope for the best. Okay. Trying to find a question which is firstly appropriate.
There are quite a few inappropriate ones.
We haven't specifically cleared certain questions with our sponsor, or even us.
Even us, yeah. As
comfortable
per
talking
form,
about.
we are wildly underprepared. So if you're expecting something better than this, I do apologise, but you know. Just got a message from Luke. As long as it's not too bad, go for it. So I think.
Well, I'm going to say this on behalf of probably me and Jay. Some of these are too bad.
Some of them are definitely too bad.
Will Jay ever shave his sideburns?
It happened but a few weeks ago.
Accidentally.
Not by choice. I went for a haircut, and the hairdresser just went, "Do you want it shorter?" and just took them off. I was heartbroken. But no, probably not. I think I rock the 70s look with such conviction that it would be a shame to let my sideburns leave Quidditch UK.
Okay, I found my next question, which is players of a tournament for Mercian.
Oh wow, that is a big. There's so many. Most of Haynes's team, but then a lot of them were Team UK.
One of the other questions is players performed very well at Mercian but don't get the shout-outs, and that's from Ashara.
I'm going to say Alex Harrison. I know he's known, but I really don't think he gets the recognition he deserves. Because he was on my team for Mercian and he was absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, there's quite a few players like that who people have known about for a while but have just upped their game recently.
Yeah, definitely.
And then as for new players, Tom Stevens from York on Night Furies.
Yeah.
New captain of York, actually, as we were talking about captains earlier. It was very good. He's got the physique, he's got the rugby background, and I remember seeing him from the sidelines when a ref call didn't go his way, using it to galvanise the team on the sidelines.
Yeah.
But he made a massive impact on that team.
I think Ben Honey played excellently for the Honey Badgers.
Yeah, he's back on top form.
He is.
He's had an up and down season because obviously Bangor haven't played as many matches as they'd like.
Yeah.
You guys would like.
But
So
no, he was on fire at Mercian.
oh yeah. So from Mercy, and also he was playing pretty well at White Knight, so he's following on that form.
Yeah.
So if he keeps that up next season, he could be a massive,
He's leaving
massive
us.
force.
Leaving us this year.
Oh,
And I don't know if he's going to be carrying on to play, so, you know,
hmm.
I think we'll have to put him up there with the James Burnett snitching.
Hmm. Another player that stood out for me was the American Gina Lynn
Allen, isn't
from Crimson Utah, I believe.
it? Yeah.
Well, it seems like a lot of the players who played really well seem to also take Quidditch by storm.
Yeah.
Um,
It was ballsy by Ben to buy Gina, having never met her or seen her.
based on reputation alone, but it
Yeah.
worked out massively in his favour with his team reaching
Yeah.
the final.
Yeah. Also, we keep getting from messages from Luke Twist. I think he thinks the questions we're asking are a bit too serious, and is looking for some more ridiculous ones in fitting with the BJ theme.
Okay, well, there's one that he highlighted. There's another one as well. This is a question from Johnny Rhodes of Edinburgh saying, "Damn, Johnny Rhodes attractive." I'm not sure if you were trying to Google that, Johnny, or
Johnny Rhodes' accent does give him charm.
and we're not in any way saying if this isn't true. We're just perplexed as to why it's been submitted to us.
I think maybe he just wants a bit of a shout out so people remember how attractive he is.
Well, we're giving him it. Here we are.
Yeah,
There you
go,
go,
Johnny. You're a good looking person.
You're
You have
a good laddie.
Yeah. Were there any other inappropriate questions?
No, I've only got. Well, there's lots of inappropriate. Is it true Jay Holmes has nipples the size of tea saucers?
No, it isn't. There you go.
Okay, that's nice and simple.
No, I'm not going to get them out. I'm out there now.
And that's the pay-per-view service.
That is the pay-per-view service.
Sometimes I wish Jay would lick my honey-covered body, or vice versa.
Wow, that's something.
That's from anonymous. So
Banger.
if you get in contact, we can maybe arrange that to happen.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, Blue Hawk will literally sell anything. So
yeah, Blue Hawk will sell me to you. Like, whoever you are, if you're interested in either of us, Blue Hawk will sell us to you.
If Luke Twist
Luke
and Jan,
just messaged me, happily sold, get in contact. If you're looking to buy myself or Ben, get involved.
you just have to say the word money to Luke and Jan, and we're out of here.
Yeah.
So slightly less prostituting question. Where would the ideal location for BQC3 be, considering public facilities, considering publicity and sports facilities?
Throwing it out there, London, hands down.
I think it's like a council gets involved, and definitely is a shout there. But then again, it's the money.
Yeah, like if London, but I think if London, as a club hosting and as a BQC at London as an entity got the backing of a council, then it could be phenomenal. Like, it could be something really special. And when you say like it's travelling to London, like, we all have to travel.
There's accommodation as well.
Well, it's a tough one, because I just know that having it in London would be brilliant.
There's also there's always going to be people who are upset by where it is.
Yeah, exactly.
There's always
going to be fun. Like St Andrews, Bangor, and Swansea. Unless you have it in St Andrews, Bangor, or Swansea, we're gonna have to travel a distance to get there. Like,
Opinions on having it in Scotland?
yeah, sure. It doesn't really bother me. Like, for the British Quidditch Cup, I will travel however long it takes to get there because it's something everyone wants to compete at.
I think as long as it's the best facilities. I think
Yeah,
facilities.
Like,
I think and publicity as well was mentioned. I think London would be good for publicity.
Yeah. Like, as long as it's the best event they can possibly hold, I don't mind. And I think London really does have potential there. Looking at you, Quidditch leaders, make it happen.
Yeah. Who are obviously watching this important broadcast.
Obviously, they get all their Quidditch UK politics from us.
We influence approximately 0% of all Quidditch policy.
Yeah.
Which fantasy Merc tournament, or tournament Merc, whatever, out of all the world would you love to attend, and why?
Something where Billy plays, making a video just so I can be in one.
That's a completely valid reason to.
I want to feature in one of those videos because they're kick-ass, like they are phenomenal, and I want a great slow-mo shot of me scoring a goal or catching a snitch or
stopping a goal.
Or just being there, to be
Or stopping a goal, scoring a goal, and catching a snitch all in one go.
Yeah, exactly.
Because with Billy, anything's possible.
Exactly. Like, being in one of those montages is why I would go to a fantasy tournament.
I know there's a few, because obviously former American, or still American, players who have come over here and played for different teams. I know a lot of them have always been like, oh, you're welcome to come over for fantasy tournaments. So I think we should...
I think they're saying that just to be polite, though. I think if Quidditch UK turned up en masse at Gina Allen's door, she wouldn't be too pleased.
I think we should test this theory.
Yeah.
Well, because obviously, like, Team UK, before Global Games last year, went to, I think it was LA, West Fantasy, or LA Fantasy, whichever one it was.
Yeah.
And went down to that and put in some impressive performances and got bought for, like, 2 coins each. Like, Dougal got bought for, like, 3 coins.
Yeah. Well, I was just about to ask, it would be interesting to see how much UK players would go for in America.
Like Luke and Jan went for hardly any as well, and like a lot of good players, just because no one knew who they were.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to, which is like the opposite of people like Gina coming over here and being bought for like the highest.
Well, that's the thing. It's kind of their American, and I will admit Gina was good, but for us, it's kind of they're American. They must be good.
They must be better than us.
Yeah, solely for the fact that they've played in America. Which I think is maybe a mindset, like we need to appreciate ourselves a bit more and realise it doesn't revolve around.
Yeah.
Like we can be good too.
Yeah. I think we should try and. By the way, your thumb's covering part of the camera.
Quality. Are we going to try and wrap it up then?
I don't know. We haven't been told to by our supreme overlords.
Blue Hawk.
Blue Hawk.
Are there any more pressing questions?
Wrap it up if you want, question mark. DM, says Luke Twist. See if we've actually got any new ones come through. There's no ones which are legally allowed to stay on camera.
Are they all pretty bad?
Which one of us is more likely to sleep with Luke Twist? I think neither of us.
Depend what it was for.
His Chimera spot.
A Chimera spot. Yeah, why not?
You get to be Chimera's primary keeper.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Sure Luke would enjoy it. So.
What, you being Chimera keeper or the?
Both. The whole experience, mate.
We haven't got a question. We haven't got a message from Luke, so I'm presuming that's a yes. He would enjoy it.
That's a yes.
So transfer rumours of the season next season. Goswell to Warwick. Who's playing for Taxes? And the mythical Lucy Q Bidwell team.
I think. Well, Taxes is very much up in the air at the moment. Like,
I know there's a lot of players who
Considering
have shown interest.
I think a lot of players are considering it, but until like the start, until until Tax's first game, that's when we'll see. If
Or
people
even
actually commit.
before that, from what I've heard, it's most people are wanting to go to trading and see how the trading goes and if they enjoy it, which is a perfectly valid reason. You don't want to join a team, sign up, commit, and then be like, oh, I don't enjoy this. Yeah. But Goswell going to Warwick is a big shift. I think.
It's a big boost for Warwick.
Who were even without that boost.
Yeah, they're still a really solid team.
Yeah, so putting someone like him in, and also I've heard rumours of Lucy joining. Warwick are also getting Cat Jack, and possibly Lucy Quidditch. So Warwick are a massive team to watch next season. But I think there'll be a lot more teams announcing who's joining them as summer goes on.
Well, I think we might see a few more teams spring up over summer.
Because when does the official season start? When's the first games? When's the sign?
It's like September the 1st.
Probably well, it's probably like a few weeks after Freshers or something, I reckon. Or
also,
a week or two after Freshers, maybe.
Members, if you take one piece of advice, remember to renew your membership for Quidditch UK. Because, it only lasts a year, so you're going to need to pay again. Definitely re-register, because you really need to. So if you take one thing from this show, re-register your QUK membership. Also, I want my membership card, because I haven't got that yet, but whatever.
I have a membership card. I submitted my photo. I did it in the wrong size, so I don't have a picture on it. So.
But yeah, just make sure you register.
Yeah. That out of context, that sounded really creepy. Just make sure you register.
Yeah.
So anyone else moving about, like, not necessarily leaving teams, but people who are joining others?
Well, I think people have. I don't know if they've decided yet. Like, you're still playing for your team at the moment, aren't you? Like, I think it will be because there are people that are moving away from university but don't know where they're going to end up, and I think it will be people that decide then. Like, I'm sure London will get a few.
Well, there's a few players I know already. We're getting Angus Barry.
Look forward to the red cards.
Yeah. No. I think it should be interesting. I think I'm not sure what position he's playing, whether it's going to be chaser or beater. But it's going to bring something interesting to the team. I know Nathan Jones might be joining us, or Werewolves, or Bristol. I think there's a few teams. There's a few players like Impact players.
Yeah.
Who are up in the air and are moving near other teams. Lee Bourne, I think, is possibly moving on from Reading. Eamon as well, possibly moving on from Bristol. So a lot of players, and I think Taxes could, if they manage to get those players and keep them as
it's retaining
players.
Isn't it?
I think no matter how Taxes do this season, unless they collapse and play no games, I think the season after they'll really come into their stride because people will be like, oh, I know what they're like. I want to be on that team, or I don't want to be on that team because I've seen how they play and stuff.
Yeah, I can.
Right now they have no identity, so.
Yeah, completely agree.
Let's end this show with one final question. Will Blue Hawk sell Luke Twist?
What? Will Blue Hawk sell Luke Twist? I think it would depend how much you'd give him.
Because would the money go to Jan and Luke get none of the money because he's not in Blue Hawk, or?
Well, that's the thing. I think you're buying him off Jan, aren't you? Like, let's not pretend.
I think basically, would Jan sell Luke Twist? The answer is yes.
As long as it's after Valentine's 3, yes.
Well, Luke Twist is message saying how much. Well, someone's asked this question, so I presume someone's interested in buying Luke Twist. So I'd say message Jan.
Message Jan. Offers available. See if you can get a deal that's Luke, me, and Ben, and we'll little package there.
I do get 1 free.
Yeah.
email. If you want to buy Luke Twist, email buyluke@hawks.eu. I repeat, buyluke@bluehawks.eu. So I expect that email address to get approximately 0 emails.
0 emails.
Maybe 1 from Luke Twist, just to keep his ego afloat.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's it. We've been on air for about an hour now, so
Yeah.
this has been. Oh wait, I can't read. Apparently, it's byluke@bluehawkqs.eu.
Oh, bad.
byluke@bluehawkqs.eu. One unfortunate person who has the other email address is getting a lot of offers for Luke Twist. So
Yes.
we're going to end it on that note. Yeah, message
Thank
me
you.
by Luke Twist, and if you want to see us again, pester Luke and Jan. And if you don't want to see them, if you want to see us again, just don't tell anyone. Just keep it to yourself.
If you enjoyed this nonsense, please like our Facebook page. Just search the BJ Show, and it comes up with us two dressed like this, peering over each other's shoulder.
It's the one with our 2 ridiculous faces on. And yeah, we will respond to any messages you send us, any fan mail or anything.
If you want to talk to us,
I think we have had.
Yes.
We had a piece of fan a couple of weeks ago, just after the last one, from someone we didn't know. So that was pretty cool. So yeah.
Yeah. If you enjoy it.
It feels like it's been going like this the whole time, and suddenly we just kind of not sure how to land this plane. We just thought, we'll just let go of the controls.
Yes, basically. So thank you. This has been the BJ Show. I've been Jay Holmes.
I've been Ben Pooley, and we'll see you soon.
See you soon.